Hello, everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers. I have with me my co-host, my partner in crime,
Kelly the eCom Mom Ward.
and we come to you every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time with more e-commerce news, tips, and more. So, Kelly, what have you been up to this week?
Uh, just busy, I did some sourcing on Wednesday and I found me a really nice vintage jacket. So I'm gonna get that listed this week.
Okay.
So I can't wait. I'm like I think I got that. I pretty much ran to the register like I gotta get out of this store before anyone else sees this jacket.
Oh my God, when you get a good find. Yeah, I know. I know. I
Mhm.
know. Okay, so you didn't even finish shopping. You just like, I found the jacket. Bye. I'm out.
Yeah, I kind of did a little bit more, but I'm like, I couldn't believe that it was there. Like, I know I saw other resellers at the, because I could, you could tell people who are resellers and stuff,
Yeah, you
but
can.
I was like, how did they not get this? Or maybe they're not into vintage clothes, but still, I mean, I know I looked it up and I paid $10 for it, and yeah, I can probably get between, from what I saw, the comps between 150 $200 for it.
Nice. Oh, I love it
So,
when you have a good find.
mhm.
Absolutely love it when you have a good find. Anything else?
Just working, and today I did a black belt clinic at with I do martial arts, so today we did black belt clinic, and it was fun. I did some, I used, since I've, lost some weight and stuff, I'm able to do more things. And
Okay.
that today was actually be taken down to the ground when I'm doing some kind of, you know, techniques and stuff with other um, students and such.
Nice. Congratulations. So I'm probably on the opposite side of that when it comes to the fitness. I actually started physical therapy the week before last. So I have physical therapy. It's probably going to be at least 3 to 4 months of physical therapy because of my hip and my back. So I won't be doing any type of going to any martial arts classes. I mean, I'm lucky enough just to be able to roll over and get out of bed. The other day, I tried to get out of bed and my legs just almost collapsed up under me. It was crazy.
Hmm.
I was like, what is this? And so, you don't realize how much you use your back and your hips until you have to do something. And I was just trying to get out of bed. So I think, unfortunately, I'm not going to speak this into existence, but there's all kinds of jokes about the older you get, like the stuff that you used to be able to do, like, oh, okay, I tore something just walking down the stairs, or I hurt myself just putting on a bra, or whatever it is. I'm like, okay. So it's all the old folks jokes. I'm like, I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm not there. But I did like mess up my back even more just trying to get at it. I was like, what is this? So that was weird. Um, from a business standpoint, um, I didn't have very many sales this last week, which I thought was interesting. But again, the economy, I feel like with all the layoffs, that more and more people are like paying attention to their spending, paying attention
Mm-hmm.
to what they're doing, being mindful of their purchases, definitely maybe hunting for deals, or being intentional. So,
Oh, yeah.
um,
I,
just,
I started a coupon on my eBay store.
mhm.
What was that? Tuesday afternoon, and within a couple hours of um doing that, I got a sale on something that's been on there for a while. It's like, I guess maybe someone watched that item, and then I had put that coupon on, and they came out and
It was game
bought it.
over. Got it. Okay. Well, I haven't done that yet. I got a bunch of stuff happening on Macari, a bunch of stuff happening on eBay, Bonanza. We are adjusting some listings on Amazon. It's like, okay. And we're about to throw a bunch of stuff up on for print on demand. So we'll see what happens. But I think for some, this is that time where they're like, okay, everybody's job is uncertain. There's some level of uncertainty depending on what your position is. Because there's a lot of people who work in the federal government, a lot of people. And so, depending on what your position is, even if you don't work directly with the federal government, your company may be working contracts or subcontracts through some company that's working for the federal government. So, this is just going to be, um, it's a trying time for some people. So, I think that's, part of the reason why I didn't get a lot of sales. So, we're going to go do some price changes, going to drop some prices. Maybe I'll throw a coupon out there. I did
Yeah.
not do that. That was the one thing I didn't do.
Also, February is a short month,
Yeah, it
so
is. It is.
and March. I mean, March is the end of the week. March 1st is next Saturday. So, or this Saturday, I should say. So with it being a short month, they just might not have that extra leeway before rents due, or you know.
Something else is due. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Like, we had a lot of extra things at the beginning of the year. We always have like our HOA fees for our where we live, and
Yes,
yeah, so
I
we don't have
really,
the we don't
I
have that extra money because we got it all goes to that. Like there's a tournament this weekend, but we're not gonna be able to go because we can't, you know, can afford to do it because we had HOA fees, and then we had to have a plumber come, and then just other
back.
stuff that
Oh
came.
yeah, back to back life happening, which I know
Mm-hmm.
about that too. Trust me when I say that. I know about back to back life happening. We've had a lot of back to back life things happening lately that I'm like, okay, a little frustrated. I'm a little tired. We got too much going on. So, but I feel you on that. I would love to move into a community where there was no HOA. That's
Well,
what I
like
would
when
love.
we don't have a park or a pool or nothing, why are we paying this money for?
Yeah, they don't make it easy. I've been in an HOA for 25 years, I guess. It's a lot. I mean, if I thought about it, I would probably be really pissed off the amount of money I've paid into the HOA. What did I get back? But that's a different, it's not today's topic. We're not talking about that today. Because if we did that math, we would all be like, what? But yeah, they love HOAs in Texas. They just absolutely freaking love them, which is crazy. Anyway, and we just had some crazy weather, some cold, cold, cold weather
Oh yeah.
for about
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4 days straight here in Texas. And when we talk about cold, like we woke up and it was 11 degrees, like maybe 10. And we are not used to that. So that makes it weird. So
We
how
didn't
that
have it that cold, but it was cold, about
it was
20s or something.
yeah. So today, it was open the windows, people already out in shorts and flip flops. So, it's Texas. Our shorts are always around and so are the flip flops. So
Yeah, we can have all 4 seasons in 1 week. So
oh yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna get into, for those who are tuning in for the first time with Ecom Sellers Podcast, what we do is we talk about e-commerce news, tips, and more. So, Kelly, I'm going to hand the floor over to you. Let's talk about any e commerce news that you were able to pick up on this week.
well, I know that Mercari's changing their shipping. Um, they're increasing their shipping fees, but they're also gonna have ground advantage up to 20 pounds. So no, which is great if you have stuff that's over 2 pounds, because before it was either switch over to FedEx or
Mm-hmm.
you know UPS or something, because that was cheaper than using. the the post office, and now they're going to include Ground Advantage for items up to 20 pounds on Mercari. So that's a good thing. But I've also they're increasing their shipping prices most likely because the post office and everyone else has increased shipping prices. Also, the post office is might be planning a double digit price hike this
Mm,
July. I was
okay.
reading, yes.
And
Um,
July is when we have, the second, I guess,
mm-hmm.
Prime Day, or the first Prime Day, I guess July, and then October they have another day. But yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And also, the guy who was the head of the post office just resigned. The Joy is his name, I right?
The Postmaster General? Really?
Yeah, I just read that he is resigning. I guess he and the president are not getting along. So
Okay.
I'm not getting on any more than that. I don't want to get political or anything, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think
So
he put him in the position when his first election. So this is interesting. All right. Okay.
um, for some sellers on eBay, they are having their money held until the item is delivered. Sometimes it depends on what kind, if it's a certain untracked item, like if you sell something, put it in, some really small, you put it in an envelope and it's not tracked. They've been holding the money. Sometimes with certain sellers, or if it's going to the EIS, um, the money's being held until it gets delivered. So just kind of watch out if on your eBay sales to see is it, because most of the time mine are make the sale and the next day it's gets transferred, or some people have theirs don't transfer to the end of the week. You know,
Okay.
however you have your eBay payout set up. Some people do it monthly. So and I know that Joann's is closing. It's a craft store. Yeah.
Yeah. Neiman Marcus downtown for Dallas is closing, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. More and more places are closing down. So I'm like, I do a lot. I do find for my Etsy store. I like to look for vintage crafts, but
Okay.
any craft supplies or anything. Like I found it's like a board for a cricket thing, and I found it at the Goodwill for like a buck, and I put it up. And I was like, oh, it's a buck. I can flip it for at least $10, $12. That thing sold so fast. So those crafters out there are also always looking for a good deal.
Right. That's good. All right. Any other news that you want to share?
Um, Etsy said that their sales were down for Q4
Mm-hmm.
about 8.6%. I read there's most people didn't have the extra spending money for Etsy. But
Yeah.
for me, Q4, Etsy was my biggest um, platform.
Oh, okay. That's good for
Hmm.
you. Congratulations. All right.
Yeah,
All right. Anything else exciting, interesting?
not. I'll probably
Okay.
remember something in the middle of the night that I was going to talk about that, but yeah.
Oh, that's all right. I get it. I get it. I get it. All right. So I
Well,
have just a, go ahead.
I was like, we had so much information given to us from my martial arts clinic today, and I told one of the instructors, "I'm sorry, now my brain is mush because I'm having information overload." So,
Yeah, I know about that. I feel you on the information overload. There's a lot to take in. There's a lot to process. There's a lot to, sort of, I guess, deal with and try to figure out how to maneuver and all that other stuff. And so, one thing I will say about our podcast is that when we have our next session, like we're going to talk through a couple of things that people can do, some strategic decisions that they can make that maybe will help them as we kind of weather whatever things are going to look like over the next 3 months to couple of years. There might be some things that you could potentially do to set yourself up for success and figure out how to weather the storm. Because in any economy, and regardless of who the president is, there's always an opportunity for you to figure out how to make money from it. So it may require you to do something a little differently or do what you're doing, or just, completely change directions. Who knows? But there's different strategies that you need to employ. So we're going to talk about those in our next podcast session. So just wanted to put that out there. All right. Is there anything else, Miss Kelly?
Um, I know eBay's having their March meeting with sellers
Okay.
on March 7th at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and they're going to talk about things that are happening on eBay and like how to, especially talk about their new. Sorry, my dog and cat are trying to chase each other and play around. I'm like, really, guys, this is not the time. But their new fashion listings and everything. So just if a lot of times if you go to these things, they will take random people who went and participated and send them free eBay swag and merch and stuff. So
Yeah, I got some free swag, but I didn't get to go to this last one that happened in the beginning of February. I did get to go to one in December, got some free. Was it December? Was it November? I can't remember. I think maybe it was November, but I got some free swag. And that's the second time that going to a meeting here in the Dallas Fort Worth area. I have to say, shout out to Stephanie Ing, because that's the reason why. She's always getting free swag, and her meetups are always on the eBay site for the community site. So yeah, but as Kelly said, March the 7th, so the seller check-in, the 2-hour seller check-in. If you're able to go to a local meeting, definitely try to go, because they do give away stuff. One of the things they're going to be talking about in that meeting, they're going to be talking about AI, which of course we're going to be talking about AI as well, and Facebook Marketplace at that March meeting. So put it on your calendar, March the 7th. What is the 7th? Is
I
that
believe that is a Friday
is a Friday? Okay.
because the first is a Saturday. So yeah.
Okay. So there you go. So I anticipate that we'll have a local meeting, and I'll probably see it soon. Um, but again, there should be an online one as well. All right. So let me tell you what news I found. And I'll share my screen for just a second. I'm over here maneuvering stuff. I know you can see me like she's looking up something. All right, so let me share my screen. Let me see if this does it on its own. I just never know what this tool is going to do or not going to do. Who knows? It behaves how it wants to behave. All right, so add to the stream. Now it's added to the stream. There you go. All right. So there was a couple of things Kelly had talked about before, so I'm not going to hit all of those. What I do want to talk about is she talked about potential rate hike in USPS. So don't forget about that. Kind of make adjustments to your budget for 2025. If we should, if you attended the annual eCom planning session, you should at least have money allocated, if not every month, if not every quarter, every month, towards shipping of some type. in some capacity. Even if you're sending stuff into Amazon or Walmart's fulfillment centers, you still have to receive shipments in. And every once in a while, you may ship something directly to a customer. So you still got to ship stuff. So shipping should be part of your budget. As Kelly said before, Etsy experienced a drop in sales of 8.6%, which is a lot. If you go to Etsy's website, their press release, they talk about how they did. So their full numbers. And so you can always read through the press release to get down to some of the nitty gritty on what's happening in the business, how things are going, how things have been performing in the past, and what has impacted them this year, what they believe, especially if you are a seller on Etsy. That will hopefully give you some additional ideas on things you can do to help your sales, maybe, maybe not on the platform, and to try to get some more traction or traffic. Okay. Remember, most of the platforms, as Kelly said at the beginning, she put coupons on her eBay store. And so most of the platforms have some form of, promotional tools available to you. So that may be your strategy for Etsy if you're a seller, depending on, again, when you read the press release. Now, Walmart, if I remember correctly, their numbers are up. They were up 4.1% year over year for Q4. So that's good for Walmart. I think, when they talk about being up, the one thing I don't think that is always clear is, how much of that was due to just basic price increases. Uh, because we know some of their prices increased. We know that there's a variety of different products at Walmart. So all of this is not just that. Some of this is just basic day to day. People going to Walmart because they shop at Walmart anyway for their groceries or whatever else. But again, how much of that 4.1% increase was actually due to the increased cost of everything? So again, you probably want to go to their website, look at their numbers. You can, I think I have one of these is Walmart. Yeah, Walmart. Well, that's 2025. So they have some estimates on what they think they're going to do, which is always interesting. So definitely go read what they are anticipating doing in fiscal year 2025. That might help you as a seller. But go look at the details. And again, depending on what you're selling, where private label, whether you're just doing arbitrage or you specialize in a specific category, that information may end up being helpful to you as you make adjustments and how you run your business going through the rest of the year. And then Amazon, again, you can go look at their press release. So they said net sales went up approximately 10%. So that's really good for them. Again, how much is that due to increased costs? How much of that is due? Well, it says net sales. I would be interested to see how much money they made off of sellers in fees. That's what I would be interested in. And how much money they made off of sellers in warehouse, services fees and all that other stuff. So that I think if you can isolate that number, I think that would be somewhat telling how much of that is coming from there. Don't forget that with Amazon, they have a lot of other things that they do, like Amazon warehouse services and things like that. So again, just breaking down the numbers to just get to the e-commerce side of the business so that way you can see, okay, what was their true growth versus Amazon as a company? How did they do? So that's how I try to look at some of this to see what it reveals to me, what I can see, what it's, is it telling, is it not telling? So there was something else. Identify stuff. Nope. There was something else that I saw that might be interesting to take a look at. Uh, okay. No, there was another article. If I remember it, next week I'll definitely bring it out because I'm not seeing it right now. So with that, I don't think there was much on that we don't already know about for digital e-commerce. The tariffs are still in the news. I don't think we'll know what's going to happen probably for a couple more months. I think, as I said before, several of the companies who receive things from China, they started strategically making decisions last November. And so they have a lot of surplus. If buying goes down, which again, consumer spending goes down, then that surplus may stretch out a little bit longer. So let's say they had 6 months worth of surplus. Then now, if consumer spending continues to slow, then that may mean that that surplus may last them another 7 months or 8 months. There are going to be some companies that are going to take immediate hit, but there will be other companies that may not take an immediate hit just yet. So I think the tariff stuff is just, we're going to have to wait and see, because we just don't know. So with that, Miss Kelly. So Miss Kelly and I are going to give you some quick tips, just one tip each, based on the different platforms. We're going to talk about eBay, Etsy, Walmart, Amazon, and Macari. So we're just going to have one suggestion or tip, strategy, or thing to avoid for any of those platforms. So, Kelly, I'll let you have the first one for eBay. What is one tip you would recommend, or
Uh,
suggestion, or avoid?
oh, with eBay, hmm, I was thinking of an Etsy tip.
Well, then go with Etsy.
uh,
Start with Etsy.
Etsy, they have it now. When you, it's probably been there. I just didn't notice. But when I noticed when I been listing on Etsy, and I went into the pictures to edit them, there's a box right there on that edit thing where you can put in SEO words that go along with your picture. And that will really, is another way to draw in traffic to your pictures. Then they go to your listing um, off site without having to pay for traffic coming in. So put those SEO labels on. You can do that um, probably with lots of other sites. I know a long back when I remember the first when we were part of um,
Neos, DSD,
yeah, and everything. We
Infineon.
went to Atlanta. We
Yeah.
went to Atlanta,
Uh-huh.
and they had it on stage. I still follow him on thing, but on Facebook, I can't remember his name, but he was showing how to do SEO on your pictures to draw in more traffic by
Okay.
putting keywords on your pictures.
Oh yeah, labeling your pictures. That the
Yeah.
keyword. Yeah, always.
Hmm.
We still teach that to this day because it works.
Yeah.
Especially
But
now that
it's
image
just
search is
Etsy,
such
it's
a
just
big thing.
boom, it's right there. You don't have to go into some secret place to find that. It's right there when you go to edit your pictures. It's right there with a little box where you can type in your words. So that just makes it a lot easier.
Okay, I love that tip. So for me, for Etsy, the one thing I would this is the perfect time as things are potentially slowing down just a little bit to definitely go and look at what other promotional features are available to you and Etsy. Sometimes people don't take advantage of that. They don't use it. They don't think about it. It's an afterthought or something that they never ever looked at. So that is what I would suggest is use this window of time to become more familiar with the promotional tools that Etsy gives you that are free, that are already in there.
Oh yeah. I use their I have a coupon set up for people who put stuff in their cart and don't check out,
Uh-huh.
so that they're like, oh, it's in my, and I made a coupon code that they can get 15% off. It's like it's been in their cart for a little bit, and then they'll get a like, hey, this has been in your cart, and here's a coupon for 15% off of this item. And I've had a lot of people, I've had a lot of sales that said they used that code.
Yeah. So again, take an opportunity to, this is that window to do that. All right. So what would you recommend? What are your dogs doing now?
He's sniffing at stuff and looking at me like, yeah.
All right. So what would you recommend for eBay?
For eBay, just if you haven't done a coupon campaign before, try one. Try one for just a week or 2 weeks, just to see, does it help my sales. You don't have to even do it on your whole store. Maybe just do it on one of your categories. And you're like, hey, I'm gonna put on my books on sale this week, 10% off, and see, does that help you
Sales.
know, your sales. Maybe I know of one guy I watch on YouTube, and he's reselling. He does it, the older stuff. He starts to put on, he'll put coupon on the stuff that's been listed for more than so many days or so many months or something, to get them start to be out of the, so it's not just they're collecting dust.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. So the one thing I would say for eBay, if you use the coupon idea, but also your older listings, bring them down, retitle them, maybe update the description, maybe update the names of the files for the images, maybe change out the main image so that you can try to freshen it up and maybe get some more traffic, organic traffic to the listing. Paid traffic is always great, given things, getting people to buy stuff with using a coupon code is also great, or discount of some type. But sometimes it's just tweaking something that's already out there that may actually help you as well. So that's my suggestion. All right. So what suggestions do you have for Macari?
Macari, don't forget to use the keywords areas. And Macari, it used to be just 3 keywords, and now you can put more. So don't forget those keywords. I like, I use list perfectly, and I can, and when, what I've been doing is starting my listing in eBay and going over, taking it and putting it in list perfectly, and then I'll edit it and make sure to put in those keywords to go in with all my other sites, with all Poshmark and Macari and everything. Just, you know, because I remember when I first started doing um e-commerce, didn't know about keywords, then what's a keyword? I'm like,
None of us did.
but yeah, so,
None of us did.
but yeah, you want to it helps target those people who are looking for your items.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So one thing I would say, there's two things I want to say, but I'll just do one of them. If you don't know already, with Macari, you can import your listings. Kelly uses List Perfectly. You can import your listings from eBay directly into Macari. You can tweak them before they go live, and you don't have to have List Perfectly. Again, we had List Perfectly for at least 2 years, maybe 3 years, and then I just started scaling back on some of my monthly expenses. That was one of them. They got cut. And so we've been using, since Macari rolled it out last year, the, import from eBay. So once I make a tweak, I can bring it in, and I do like that feature. So that's my tip. If you need to cut cost, if you're at that place where you need to cut costs, that's a feature. All right. So for sellers on Amazon, because like, I'm not selling on Amazon. What's one tip, strategy, or thing not to do?
um, hmm. It's like I haven't been selling on Amazon like 2 years, so, but I'd be like getting ready now for spring. Make sure you're
Absolutely.
getting ready for
Absolutely.
spring. Look what Easter's coming up April 20th, so you want to get your Easter stuff in there. I mean, look what's going out in the stores right now, and this should go across all platforms. It's like it's 25 degrees out. Why should I be listing spring stuff? But you want it to have some traction,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know. So
I agree 100%. So the one thing I would say about Amazon is if you haven't been selling, like Kelly hasn't been selling, well, there's, oh God, I just keep saying we're supposed to do one. Okay, just an asterisk. If you have not been selling on Amazon, remember that the individual account is always an option. Okay. So you don't have to do the subscription of $39.99 to gain access to all the tools. If you are randomly, occasionally listing or have business on Amazon, you can have an individual account on Amazon. I just want people to remember that. But the one thing that I would say for people for Amazon is because of all of the fees and because of all of the stuff that, it's just, I would invest the energy and the time in getting ungated. I would put together a strategy for 2025 where you work to get ungated in one category every week. So set aside the money to buy the products wholesale, get the, write down the ASINs on the invoice, buy a quantity of a minimum of 10 from a wholesale supplier and send that in. I would work to do that. There are some wholesale suppliers out there that don't require you to have an LLC. So if you are okay with the products that they're selling and you feel like you can make money off of it on Amazon, then definitely establish as many wholesale accounts as you can. If you do have an EIN, that's great. But if you don't, then make sure you pay attention to those wholesale suppliers' minimum order quantities so that you can use those invoices to get ungated. So that's the thing I would suggest for those people. Work to get ungated. It will pay off in the long run. Just remember, this is a long-term strategy. It's not a short strategy. It's a long-term strategy. All right. So Walmart.
I don't know.
She doesn't know.
I I've never sold on Walmart, so
Okay.
yeah, it's like it's like I never really went into that area. I was, yeah.
I will say that Walmart is a catch-22 because I feel like when they first launched, there's a bunch of glitches that they ran into for sellers, and sellers kind of got on the platform, and some of them immediately got kicked off, and not from their own doing. For some of them, it's like, this does not make any sense why you're saying I violated this or didn't do that or whatever. It's just crazy. But I would say if you haven't tried Walmart now, I would give it a chance. That's the first thing. People are clearly buying. Number two, or since there's just because Kelly said she didn't know. So if you haven't given Walmart a chance, definitely give Walmart a chance as a seller to make money on their platform. The other thing is look into Walmart Fulfillment Services. Again, FBA costs a lot of money. Walmart Fulfillment Services does have fees, but the fees are just a little smidge lower than Amazon, and so it may give you, another avenue to make money. And again, those wholesale accounts don't hurt. So if you have that strategy of getting ungated once a week, whatever you buy, you can't make enough money off of it on Amazon. You can put it on Walmart, see what happens. So with that, those are our tips for this week. We hope that you found this information helpful. Again, this is the eCom Sellers Podcast. My name is Nicole Whitlock.
I'm Kelly the eCom Mom Ward.
And we come to you every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time to talk about e-commerce news, tips, and more, and what's happening in the e-commerce space. Tune in for another episode for the eCom Sellers Podcast next week. And please share this out with a friend. Invite them to come check us out. With that, we are going to say goodbye for now. Bye, y'all.